Hey guys, so welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Abigail, and most of my videos have to do with special needs, health issues, or feeding tubes. I got a GJ tube, the G tube for my feedings, and the J tube. Wait, no, I said that backwards. The J tube is for my feedings. The G tube is to vent, also known as getting sick out of. And I thought that it would be fun every once in a while to do like a little story time, share something that I've been through in my life that I don't think that I've shared before. And it might not have anything to do with special needs like this. Not all of this has to do with special needs. Actually, I'm not really sure if any of it does. But anyway, it's an interesting story, so I wanted to share it. And this will probably be the only time that I share this story on my channel because of the fact that it's literally taken me years to talk about it after it's happened, because I do deal with anxiety issues, and it really took me the longest time to be able to talk about this story in general. So I'm going to try to talk about this story in the least amount of details for the sake of safety. Okay, so the story starts. This happened several years ago. I don't exactly remember how many years ago. But I do remember it was several years ago. And at this point, my dad was working a morning job. And I don't remember what everybody was doing, but I do remember that my mom, I'm pretty sure, was at town, and I think everybody else was like at work, and my little brother was at school, so I was home alone. And we live in what I consider a really safe neighborhood. Like, I'm talking about like our neighbors, if they hear that we're going out of town or something, they will check our mail for us, and keep it for us till we get back. Anytime we have like a loss in our family, our neighbors are good at bringing by food and things that we need. And actually, one of our neighbors is a nurse, and when I had that really bad moment where I wasn't getting enough nutrition and almost fainted in the bathroom, my mom ran over to our neighbor's house because she's a nurse, and she came over to our house to help me until the ambulance got here. So when I'm talking about good neighbors, they're like the people that we would like, go to if, something was extreme to happen, somebody that we can trust. And anyway, so I don't remember if a lot of our neighbors just wasn't at home, or it wasn't like scene causing, or what exactly. But my dad is a lawnmower mechanic from home, and at this point my dad had a morning job, but he worked on lawnmowers and in the evening time. And this day I was home alone. Like I said, like everyone in the family had something that they needed to go do, and I didn't think anything of being home alone because, like I said, nothing like really that bad has happened in the past several years. And when I was home alone, I think it was a truck, pulled up. But what was weird about it was like none of the cars were home, because I don't own a car myself because I don't drive because of my disability. And so basically this, I don't remember if it was a car or a truck, instead of pulling into our driveway, they pull like right in front of our house. And when they get out of their vehicle, they walk straight across the yard. Like, they don't even take the sidewalk. We have a driveway, and then it's connected to a sidewalk, so after you get out of your car, you don't have to walk in the grass if you don't want to. You can take the sidewalk to our front door. And anyways, this guy I thought seemed kind of off at the beginning, because I thought I heard a car door like shut. So I look out the window, and this guy, and I think it was a truck, walks across our yard to our front door, and he rings the doorbell, I think it was about 5 times in a row. And I thought that was a bit strange. And then he knocks on the door bangs on the door about 5 times in a row. So that's when I started to realize that something was off. This was more than I'm upset that you're not answering the door. And so I thought that it would be a good idea to act like my mom was at home. So I go to the bathroom and I act like I'm talking to my mom. And I start having like this loud conversation, like, oh, I think somebody's at the front door. And I start having like this conversation, like like if I'm having a conversation with somebody, but realistically I'm actually talking to myself. And I walk like halfway down the hallway, like, and I go to the front door and I immediately lock it, because I am freaking out at this point. I lock the front door, and I'm thinking, okay, we do have a like back door that goes to like our garage and then like into our kitchen, but I wasn't concerned about that, because like our back door that goes to our garage is like almost always locked, and then like our garage door is, I mean, sometimes locked as well, so it wasn't like a huge concern. And so I go to the front door and I lock it. After this guy like rings the doorbell like 5 times in a row and bangs on the door a few times in a row, he starts messing with the doorknob. And at this point, I start to realize that something is really wrong. And I call my mom and text my dad. And I'm like, hey, do you have a customer coming by? Because this guy's acting really weird. And basically, long story short, there was no customer coming by, because sometimes like if my dad did have a lawnmower customer come by, they would like call him before and be like, hey, I'm gonna be at your house at like this certain time. Both of my parents said that nobody was supposed to stop by. And so at this point, I'm like really freaking out. My dad is at work. My mom is, I think she was at town. And so I'm stuck home alone with basically this crazy person trying to break into our house. And I guess our neighbors either weren't at home or they didn't notice, or I don't know, but it was getting scary. So when I called my mom, I was like in the middle of an anxiety attack, and my dad like calls my mom and he was like, hey, you need to like go pick her up like right now. And my mom told me to like, if the guy breaks in the front door, to go lock myself in the bathroom and call 911 immediately. And so I have my phone, I'm on the, and and I'm like, okay, if this guy breaks in, call 911. And that's like the only thing on my mind. And like my mom like called me when she got home that it was safe to unlock the door. And from this day, as far as I know, the guy has not came back. He left. But before this guy left, this was the thing that was like the top thing that I realized that this is not a lawnmower customer, was that I had before I realized that he was gonna try to break into our house, I had yelled like 1 minute because I thought it was like a lawnmower customer or something, and so like he knew I was home, and long story short, he started messing with the doorknob trying to break in. So I called my mom. My mom came to pick me up. The guy has never came back that I know of. I have that thankfully have never dealt with another experience like that again, but I'm very thankful that he didn't break in, like actually get in our house, and I'm very thankful that I was safe and wasn't hurt or anything. I still don't know if it was a crazy person, if it was like an angry person, or what exactly happened. I consider our neighborhood pretty safe. Like I said, like our neighbors that, you know, normally keep an eye on our house and stuff, I don't know if they just weren't home that moment, or if it wasn't like too scene causing. I don't know, but thankfully the guy has never came back, and we have never dealt with something like that since. And I'm just really glad that I did not answer the door, because like if I would have, I don't know what would have happened, if I would have gotten kidnapped or what. But I just realized that like once the guy was like trying to open the door, that something was like really off. And I had like, I don't talk about this a whole lot on my channel, but I do have anxiety issues. So like general anxiety. And so I don't know, it was very, very hard. Like my mom kept telling me like, I'm on my way there. If he breaks in, like lock yourself in the bathroom, call 911. It was, for somebody that has anxiety issues, it was awful. I'm just really glad that the guy has never came back, because if he would have broken, I don't know what would have happened. But I'm very thankful for safety, like that I knew what to do in that moment. Like if the guy would have broken in, I would have locked myself in the bathroom, immediately called 911. And you know, it was like one of those like panic freeze moments where you just don't know what to do. And thankfully, as I was acting like I was talking to my mom, the guy, it's like the guy got scared thinking that somebody else was home, and so he left. So this is probably the only time that I'm going to share this story on my channel, for the fact of it literally gave me anxiety for the longest time. So I don't really want to continuously talk about it, but I thought that every once in a while I would share a unique story of something that's happened to me in my life, and that was one of the stories that has happened to me in my life. So I'm very thankful for my neighbors, my family, and like everyone around me that makes sure I'm safe, and that I always have somebody that I can call or go to, you know, in a time where I need them. So that's the story for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new, and be sure to hit the notification bell. Bye everyone.